Okay guys, so I wanted to make this video to give you 5 signs that you are not an LIE. Sign number 1, care about the bottom line, the here and now, and not the purpose. So look, despite being bold TE and SE for the LIE, at the end of the day, LIEs have NI creative. At the end of the day, a lot of what an LIE does is influenced heavily by their NI. And what that basically means is that whatever it is that the LIE is trying to do, it has to have an overall bigger purpose. Everything that the ENTJ does is purpose driven because of NI. And a lot of the times their TE to an extent is influenced by the direction that the NI says sometimes, as well as their NI is basically there to support their TE by helping them say, okay, you want to be the most effective person, you want to be the most capable person, right? Here is what you need to consider down the line. Here are the things that are coming up ahead. This forces the LIE to think in terms of the big picture, even if they're communicating it or not. Now, there are shades. Some LIEs will communicate their big picture vision with other people, and it's mainly for the purpose of getting them on board. Some others will not communicate it. But regardless, the concept of having a larger purpose and a direction where to go is always on the LIE's mind, right? So an LIE isn't a type of person who neglects the bigger picture. Or should I say, at least they don't try to. That's not to say that an LIE doesn't sometimes act in ways that don't align with the overall bigger picture. That does happen. It can happen. And sometimes the LIE understands that it needs to happen because, but the point is that it's not the primary fundamental way of living. The LIE, other than that, so I said they care a lot about purpose. They're highly purpose driven. They look at the big picture. They try to develop a theme for their life, or try to understand the world through themes and archetypes and all that. Let's go to the second big sign that you're not an LIE, right? If you don't have a strong desire to manifest the ideas, the vision, the concepts that you see in a tangible, concrete sense, you're most likely not an LIE. Because despite having strong NI and it being so prominent in their personality, they also have SE. There's a part of every LIE out there that wants to face challenges, conquer obstacles, but also have tangible evidence of their achievements and what they've been able to do, right? Like concrete things that could either be buying something or acquiring something. The point is that there needs to be a plan for some sort of concrete manifestation, right? So yeah, let's take a look at the third big sign that you're probably not an LIE, or that somebody you're trying to type is not an LIE. You enjoy thinking about what others say about you and love to play the status game. Look, LIEs despise this thing, right? They don't like trying to package themselves in certain ways for people in order for them to come off more appealing. But an LIE can do that. And they'll often do it for the sake of making sure that the plans that they have, their objectives that they're trying to achieve, that they are able to actually succeed in them. Because from a practical standpoint, you're going to have to involve other people. You're going to have to, if not outright involve other people, right? At the very least, not rub somebody off the wrong way so much to the point where they either turn against you or they just avoid helping you at a time when you need it, right? So LIEs, so this comes from the FE role. The FE role understands, hey, listen, you can't step on too many toes here. You can't continue to rub people off the wrong way. Sometimes, especially when the probability of success relies on how well you're able to come across to other people as well. If you're the type of person who is constantly thinking about how you can basically razzle dazzle the crowd, get people to like you, people who you don't even know. And I see this usually with EIEs and SLEs who might confuse themselves for being LIEs. More so SLE than EIEs, which is EIEs, ENFJ, SLE is ESTP. But that's something that those extroverted beta quadrant types do. The beta quadrant in general. The beta quadrant, which I call the Knights quadrant, they've got SCFE. Those are the types that really constantly think about what other people think about them and what other people are saying about them. Because for them, it's really important to have a particular image in the mind's eyes of other people. And they basically live for that. They live to craft an image that other people can look at or remember them as. All right. LIEs don't live for this. It's more like something you just have to put up with or something like that. Let's take a look at the fourth sign that you're probably not an LIE. This is an interesting one. So it's you don't care about having close relationships or living based off of a set of morals or anything like that. So despite having won the FI, despite the LIEs being terrible at the FI stuff, they actually deeply value it and they work towards being better at FI related stuff, right? A lot of LIEs, they have like this sort of, you could say, sacred relationship to the concept of friendship, basically. Like, what is a good friend? Like, they care a lot about having friends, being close to those friends. And they don't like losing friends. That's not a thing that you see with LIEs a lot. And it actually, when an LIE has close friends that they care about that they lose, right? Like they're no longer friends with the person or whatever, or the friend moves away or they pass away or whatever happens, it actually really, really shakes them up, right? You don't always know that because they don't always show it, but they highly value FI a lot. Another thing, so it's also living with a set of morals, right? So LIEs, so there you can say that TI is all about having a strict moral code, but when I say morals, I'm not talking about a strict moral code. I'm talking about just, like treating people with sympathy, I guess you could say. LIEs do this a lot. In fact, so much so that they actually get taken advantage of, because that's kind of like the Achilles heel, the weak spot of an LIE, is their FI. Because it's 1D, it's weak, it's valued, and it's suggestible, right? People can easily push and manipulate. The same way people can easily get an SE suggestive ILI, INTJ or INFJ, SE suggestive type, right? You can easily get them to do something that they don't want to do or to try to pressure them into acting in certain ways, right? And sometimes they look forward to it. That's as weird as that sounds, but not like in a masochistic way, but it's more like they have a higher respect and regard for strong people. And they're looking for somebody who can, like, they can outsource the SE related stuff. So something similar like that happens with LIEs, but with LIEs it's different because with them it's like it's easy to basically take advantage. Basically, it's like to just take advantage of their sympathy. That happens a lot, especially for FI suggestive types. It's not that hard to do, and a lot of people often do it. That's why they have this weird thing where it's like they're either gonna misjudge somebody as being a friend when they're not, or they're gonna keep a person at arm's length all the time, right? So that's a huge struggle area for FI suggestive. Then we've got the fifth. Now the fifth one I think is the biggest one. It's the most interesting one. There's a little bit of a caveat here, but overall it is probably the best one, which is one. If you or the person you're typing defines themselves defines themselves as being somebody who is high energy, or as somebody who always has a desire to always dominate and win in every situation they're in, they're probably an SE base and not an LIE. Now, I kind of blame the MBTI people because they've described LIEs as being more like ESTPs as opposed to ENTPs, which I have a video of you can check out where I break that down a little more. But the point here being is that LIEs, at the end of SE is not their strength. right? And ENTJ's SE is not their strength. That doesn't mean that they're pussies. It doesn't mean that they don't know how to act in the present moment. What it basically means is that they're inconsistent with their ability to apply force or to take swift action in the present immediate moment without thinking. It's inconsistent. As in some days it's really up there. You know, they're taking action. They got the go mentality. They're improvising. They're not overthinking. But other days it's like down here and it's like they're just a couch potato inside their own head, inside their own minds, and they're unable to stop the mental chatter inside their head and get out of their own mind and to actually take action. Another thing, so the way you describe SE mobilizing is this. There's like this strong desire to see yourself as somebody who's able to overcome whatever challenge life throws at you. But at the same time, there's a sense of doubt of, okay, this is the path that I want to head on with NI. I know I'm going, I know what my purpose is, but now I have struggles. I'm not sure if I should be walking these steps, or maybe I should go walk those steps. You know, when it comes to the day-to-day details, there's a little bit more, you could say, let's just call it turbulence, right? You're not exactly sure if what they aren't sure if what they're doing in the present moment is actually helping them in achieving that long-term vision, right? So they can act, and LIE will act, take action, do things in the present moment, but it's like, oh, okay, wait, what am I doing? Should I go this way, or should I go that way, and stuff like that, right? Again, it goes back and forth, but the point being is that SE is not a strength for an LIE. It really isn't. And even if, and here's the interesting part, right? Even if an LIE, let's just say, okay, you've got an LIE, they're a tough guy, all right? Let's just say they're macho man. They're so strong, they're capable. They are basically, you're not somebody you can push around with easy, right? They go to the gym, they go to MMA, they do all that stuff, right? They don't describe themselves as being that way, even if they were. Regardless if they are or aren't, they don't describe themselves that way. Because one quick trick, if you want to understand, if you want to pinpoint a person's leading function, or specifically in general, the ego block, the top two slots, right? The top two functions, but the more so the leading, ask them how they describe themselves, what they take pride in, and ask them what it is that they're really good at that most people aren't good at. So if an LIE is being honest with themselves, they will pride themselves. You can hear it with the way they describe themselves. They pride themselves as being able to get shit done, being able to figure stuff out, being able to be good at what they do, you know, like things that are more related to TE. Or they'll talk about, oh, I'm really amazing when it comes to communicating my vision to people. I'm really amazing when it comes to developing a vision, or talking about how responsible they are, or how committed they are in having a greater purpose in life and following that. And you'll find a lot of LIEs criticizing and calling out other people for saying, oh, you're just wasting your time going to parties while I'm in the office working, or I'm in my room in front of my desk hustling, and you're just out there wasting your time with trivial bullshit, right? Underneath all that, there's a little bit of a neglect or condemnation towards SI, because they're SI polar. But the point is that when you ask these people to describe themselves and how they see themselves, how they envision themselves, how they view themselves, what they take pride in, and what they think that they're actually much better than other people at, they will talk about things that relate to their TE and their NI most of the time. Not always, but most of the time, right? But it's not really SE. LIEs are not the types that are going to be like, I'm the most dominant person in the room. I'm the most alpha. I'm the most action oriented. I'm the most this SE. I have the most force. They don't do that. That's it's there. That element is there, but it's not the primary way that they go about living their life or viewing themselves. It's not, you know, that's it. Yeah. So those were the 5 signs. I tried to make this video as quick as I could. I don't want to make it too long, but those are the 5 signs that you or the person you're typing is not an LIE. All right. Anyways, guys, Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and peace out.